Hello and a very warm welcome to the Saturday show, Grassroots show. What are we doing? The flying, the days of flying, the months of flying. Dear me, I could do without the months flying actually, because I've got that much work on, it's unreal. And I'm talking about before I go into my real job. My real job is obviously support work. And I've been doing that for over 20 years. Sometimes you need a break from that, sometimes you need to go on to different things, don't you, in life, and sometimes it can be too much for what you're doing. But if there's anyone out there want to pay me 10 grand a month, I'm there, I'm ready for you. I really am, honestly. I'm looking forward to working for you. mal@don'texttheline.com. It's one of those things, isn't it? Anyway, if you've been out and about today, Saturday, playing football, I really do hope, loads of respect went out on and off the field of play, especially if you had a referee with you, because the referees, young referees now, have just done the DBS, the safeguarding courses, and they're ready to go. So they'll be nervous, so please look after these referees when you come across them in grassroots football, and you'll be getting them in the North Liverpool, the Watling Caredale League, the John O'Leary League. You'll be getting all the youngsters coming in, so give them a chance, give them a fair crack at the whip. Talk to your team players, talk to your parents, and talk to yourselves, and make sure that you forget that that referee is on the field of play until you hear the whistle. When you hear the whistle, it means free kick, end the game, start a game, it means penalty, corner, whatever it may be. Corner, yes, there's still corner, there's no heading of the ball. So there you go. So please, in other words, stand back, enjoy it, meet people on the sidelines. That's what it's all about. Bringing people together. That's what Don't Cross the Line does now, and has been doing since 2003. Bringing communities together, bringing referees together, parents together, kids together, committees together. What more could you ask for? And managers together. We hope. We do hope. We're not there to police. We don't go in all guns blazing. No, we don't. We work with the county FAs. In other words, what we do, we'll give them some feedback only if it's required. Thankfully, we don't really have to do that, because once we spoke to an irate parent, manager, whatever it is, everything's sorted, and that person becomes a better person, honestly, in the following weeks and the following days. And you, oh, thanks very much, I'm starting to think about my behaviour on the sideline now when we've approached them. And it does work, honestly, it really, really does. We believe that we've made a massive difference in grassroots football with Don't Cross the Line, with the Respect campaign, no ref, no game campaign. Everything that we do in grassroots football is for the communities, it's for the kids, it's for the parents, is for the referees, committee members, to make life easier. We know other people are doing, or organisations are doing their own thing. We know that they're trying to make a difference. We are honestly inundated now with the work that we're doing with organisations, and some of these organisations who have been after for ages to get on board with us just turn a blind eye. There's one there. All right, mate, there you go, you can hear that. That means my soundproofing hasn't covered everything yet, but it will do, because I've got a lot of work to do in the studio. It's going to be really, really well. Young Dan can't wait. Jaden, he'll be back on soon, by the way. They're away, so apologies from them last night on the show, forgot to mention that. But they're having a ball anyway. They won't recognise, they won't want to watch me rabbiting on about grassroots football, about refereeing, about our Heart of Gold initiatives. I've got a great team of volunteers, honestly, in the Heart of Gold, and they're always waiting for me for the next initiative. Well, we've just done the next initiative, and thankfully the lads are all made up, because they didn't have to get involved, they didn't have to come and sing. They were there, but they're there supporting it. You can see the likes and the watching of everything that's going on. The work that we're trying to do for kids in grassroots football, because kids grow up into adults, and we want to make sure that they are aware of mental health and the problems that arise through mental health. So we want to tackle them in grassroots football, because it's the biggest sport in the world. Someone said that it was fishing, but I think now it's got to be football. I know we can all say, well, football, all the kids go fishing, all the kids who go fishing go to football, so I don't know where you get all that. It's obviously got to be football, because you don't see 50,000, 60,000 kids, whatever it is, at fishing. I love fishing, don't get me wrong, it's a sport that I love and I've done years and years. I haven't done for a while because too much comes on in life, doesn't it? And I bring it on myself, I really, really do, because I'm just that part of a community that I want to bring people together and make a difference, because life is life and you've got to enjoy it, and people are not aware of what's happening. Youngsters come into a football team, they don't know the laws of the game, they don't know, especially the parents, the mums and dads, it's not explained to them in the way it should be explained. They just think, child goes into football, that's it, they become a superstar, you know, and that it doesn't happen. And I think managers and coaches should have a monthly meeting to talk to these parents about how the child is faring in the club. I know clubs do it, I know there's some out there that do these things, and I think it's absolutely brilliant, but a lot of them I've watched and see, and I'm members of, will do it on the WhatsApp groups, all groups on social media, pass messages on, and I don't think that works, I really, really don't. I think you need a personal touch, and that's what we do with Don't Cross the Line, a personal touch, meeting the players, meeting the parents, the committee members, the managers, the coaches, going out there and just talking to them and saying, how's things? And taking a lot of complaints when we shouldn't be, actually, because they come over to us, they always think that I work for every single league. If I go to a league, then they'll come and approach me. They really, really will, and obviously I'll point them in the direction of the committee. But if I can help, I really, really will, because 9 times out of 10, it's a question that they give me that I can answer. And we don't go out there, as I say, all guns blazing. We go out there to talk and bring the friendship back into grassroots football. And honestly, since 2003, we've been doing that. And with a serial awards-winning campaign, and that's not obviously what you want, awards. What you want is results. That's why we're in grassroots football, because results make a massive difference to me. If I know I've helped a child out there, what a result. That's a brilliant result. If I see feedback coming to me saying thank you very, very much for bringing these kids together, for doing what you're doing in the communities, that's a result. That's what we want, and that's all I want. With a CIC, a community interest company, we have volunteers. None of this goes into anyone's pocket, it all goes in to what we're doing in grassroots football. We're trying to bring and achieve the best things that we can in life for the child, for referees, to make it easy for them in life. Honestly, that's all we try and do. And we could do with a lot more referees on board for the work that we do for them, but you believe me, we have more teams, more managers, more committee members on board with us than we do referees. And all we do is go out there praising the referee, protecting the referees, supporting the referees, watching the back when they're playing the games. We do a lot of work, and a lot of referees just think we're part and parcel of the furniture. They'll do that for us. They'll watch our backs, they're great, and then walk away and just get on, because I wonder how many times we've stopped something happening while we've been there at grassroots football and stopped maybe aggressive behaviour, verbal abuse towards that referee, because we are the CCTV of grassroots football. When we're there, nothing happens. When we walk away, all hell could break loose, and we hear about a lot of that. Even when we've been at grounds and someone will say to me, you should have been on that game there before. We were. It's when we walk away. Honestly, people respect us and the work that we do. And as I say, we're independent, but we will put reports in. We talk to the FA, we talk to the county FAs, we send messages, we've got all governing bodies on board with us, supporting us, but we can't take action. That's the governing bodies. But they listen to us. They listen to us because we're doing the right thing and we're trying to make a difference in grassroots football. We're not paid for it. We go cap in hands, we get lottery grants, and this lottery grant that came in to help us with one step ahead of mental health is absolutely fantastic, and we can't thank the lottery enough for doing that. We want to give them praise. We've got the kids wearing the t-shirts, they only sent us 9 of these little stickers to put on, and we put them on the t-shirts that they're wearing, And they're all, they love it. They really do. And and I can't thank the lottery enough for helping us. But as I say, we go cap in hand to do the work we do. When you get a lottery grant, people need this explaining to them. No matter what you get in a lottery grant, because you're not for profit organisation, it's the next best thing to a charity. You have a list of everything that you've applied for, and everything that you've applied for, you have to adhere to that on the spending money. But there's no wages, there's nothing like that. There might be some volunteer expenses, but it's not much. It all goes into equipment, to things that you're doing. The volunteers don't get paid for it. That's why it's a big volunteer. Like what you have for your FA. You took the FA, you volunteers away from the FA, there wouldn't be an FA. I honestly believe there wouldn't be an FA because they couldn't cope. Thousands upon thousands of volunteers doing a paid job. That's what they're doing. They're doing the work for all these organisations. I would love to open a business that's run by volunteers, making fortunes. Wouldn't you? Anyway, enough of that. That's just my point across, and this is what it's all about. Volunteers make a big difference, and that's what we do. But what we do like initiatives. We do things, I'm just checking the time, we do things like climb mountains. We've done the National Three Peaks, the Yorkshire Three Peaks, done marathon walks, marathon runs, skydiving. We've done Hadrian's Wall over the 3 days. These are over 3 days challenges. We've completed every single one of them to raise funds, and we did one for Emily. Emily, we raised something like £3,500 who required an operation to go towards that. It's cerebral palsy. Emily suffered from now. I don't know what Emily's doing. I wish we could have had a little bit of feedback how she's doing for those many years ago. But this is what we do, and we put together little plans and put money into that, like the Heart of Gold, not from the lottery grant. This is a separate entity, and you might see it with GoFundMe, but Heart of Gold is. This is what these are, this is what the volunteers are, this is what our volunteers do, this is why we're called Heart of Gold. Like the Heart of Gold choir, they do it out of the goodness of their heart. They're giving something back to the communities. This is the name we came up with. It's another part and parcel of Don't Cross the Line initiatives. And we've got together the choir to sing a song, Lean on Me, for one step ahead of mental health, which we applied for and got the lottery grant. This is what we're saying, community grant. So all that hard work goes all into that, week in, week out. Whenever I've got spare time and I'm away from my local job, I do a lot of voluntary work, and that's it. But as I say, I'm a director of the company. It's a CIC, community interest company. Once again, the next best thing to a charity. In a charity, you can get paid. That's the difference. It's a massive organisation, but when I've looked at Don't Cross the Line, it's too much hard work for me to organise a charity. What I'd love is people to come in and take over that charity for me and employ me, if that's the case. But that doesn't happen. It's not easy. It's just too complicated to form that charity. So this gives you a little bit of leeway. You can put into it, you can put in for grants and donations. But the likes of big money companies will not entertain you because they just want to pay a charity. It doesn't make sense sometimes, does it? Because they're paying people's wages with charity money. And yet, these CICs are run by volunteers who don't get wages out of it and do all the work. And they probably get more results in grassroots achievements, in grassroots initiatives. The achievements that we get more results and more people on board. And the likes of Chris Kirkland is one gentleman. He's absolutely brilliant. And we did the interviews, and I didn't finish that last night. I'm sorry, I got put off. And this is what I should have said. We had David John Jaggs. We had Dan Hogan from UK, Health UK, CIC. who are going to help us with mental health with adults in there. We're teaming up with them. YPAS, we had to mention them. They were away on holiday, but they're on board with us. Susie, honestly, we'll get Susie in on a podcast and Dan in on a podcast, and what we can do and what we're planning, and there is big plans, honestly. You want to see what we're doing. And YPAS also employ people from 16 to 25 years of age, people who have had mental health problems along the way. They're employing them and they become their ambassadors, and we're going to get one or two of them in and they can talk to us on the podcast what the achievements are. And this is what we've put one step ahead of mental health for, the awareness programme, to give kids who have problems like that, to give them a goal to so they can achieve something in life. And this is what we're putting together, this is what we have put together, and there's a long way to go. Honestly, as I say, we're going to develop this podcast studio, make it a lot better, and maybe hire it out and bring, you know, because we go cap in hand, to bring a few bob back into the work that we do with Don't Cross the Line. And maybe one day I'll have my own business, and then I'll be employed to do more work to help out the communities. And we've got Shine. Honestly, they're a business, Shine UK, they're fantastic. They're coming in, and hopefully as partners as well. What a business they are, supplying photocopiers. They're on board with us. But going back to all the people that we interviewed, including myself, I was the last interview. Dan, Chris Kirkland, David John Jaggs, they were all on the interviews, even the kids, and I'll mention them: Lexy, Sekemi, Toby and Nel. Honestly, watch out for them because they're great characters, they're fantastic, and they've done a little tour. And the video is being put together. And John May, wow, forgot John, he'd have been like this then. I could just imagine him on Rooney's Ring, give me a mention on the show. He's on that now, the Royal Court, and he's brilliant. And he was also unbelievable. I think that's what the programme was, on BBC Two Drama. He's on a few more. Watch out for John, he's brilliant. And he took the time and effort over the 2 days that we had to be here. Put everything into it, and I want to thank John. And also John has his own spot on demand, in-demand radio, and he just invited me onto the show. So I'm looking forward to going onto the show and doing a little piece there. Can't wait for that. So I'll be on in-demand radio hopefully a week on Sunday, and he asked me he invited me on this Sunday, just have a mouthful of tea. But obviously he's forgetting it's a charity shield, so it's a big one for me. Possibly could have a ticket late on the Saturday night, so I couldn't commit to that one just in case. Imagine that letting him down. So I'm off the following week, so weekend, so I've put in for that one. So fingers crossed, we shall have a laugh on there, because he is a gentleman and a scholar and a character, and wants to promote the work that we're doing in one step ahead on mental health. And Progress Media, honestly, fantastic to work with them all on Ward, and John himself, and Paddy as well, script writer. Honestly, those people are fantastic, making a difference with us. So they were all on board, and it was a long day on the interviews, but we got through them. And I was on at 5 o'clock, and you honestly, people go on there and go, make it easy on me, the questions. Now Owen interviewed me, and when I say Owen interviewed me and Paddy, they just sat there and basically they couldn't shut me up, just let the camera rolling, and I was talking for 44 minutes on non-stop, and I know you can all believe that. And I hope I come across really, really well, because I had to explain what it was all about, how we done it, what do we want to achieve out of it. We want to get results, because getting results in grassroots football is a major plus, and that's what it's all about. That's why the kids play, to get results. That's why they become team players, because results get you prizes, don't they? Teamwork makes you a better person. Teamwork is what it's all about, with our volunteers and people getting together, and I keep them updated on everything that I'm doing, because I'm friends with them in WhatsApp groups and what have you, but I don't bombard them with what's going on. And we try as well within grassroots football to keep costs down. We've got to, this is what we, and honestly I haven't been promoting it, and I need to. DXTL push for lower costs at grassroots football, because we know you're all paying a fortune, and there's loads of vulnerable children out there, mums and dads who are struggling, can't pay a penny towards subs and that. We do know there's clubs out there, Lostock Hall, Sheffield and District Junior League, they're all doing or trying to help vulnerable kids and parents who are struggling in grassroots football. We know there's many clubs out there, and if you're one of those clubs, please get in touch with us. Let us know what you're doing so we can give you a message and mention, because I think it's great what you're doing and you deserve a mention. Let people know. We don't give names out, obviously, the people that you're helping, but if you're making a difference to kids, like they're all supporting One Step Ahead of mental health for us, that's what we want. The whole grassroots world, across the nation and beyond, supporting the work that we do. We come to the end of another show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tomorrow, Charity Shields, we'll have a little talk about that one. Got some players in there in the Liverpool team now. Will Isaac come? Yeah, I think this deal's done and dusted. And I just don't know what they're waiting on, whether they're waiting on Newcastle getting a striker and he's got to come. I don't know, because he's not going to be there anyway, but wow, can't wait to see these players perform myself. And I was excited the other night when they had a double header of friendly games, and boy, those players performed, and I was happy with it. And that's what you kids can do. There's always that goal ahead of you to achieve. Let's all achieve this together and support each other through thin and thick. Got that, didn't I? Yes, I did. Let's all stick together. Let's get that circle of friends going, and let's make a difference together in grassroots football. Let's make it better, and not just our referees, but the kids as well, and each other. We'll be back again tomorrow. Have a great weekend. Up to now, you have, no doubt you have. What a game, and let's hope everyone comes home safe. A lot travelling tonight, and it's a master showpiece once again between Liverpool and Crystal Palace, and the fans get on great together. In the meantime, we'll see you tomorrow, round about 3 p.m. For myself, Mal Lane, all the team at the Grassroots Show, Don't Cross the Line, Respect campaign, Heart of Gold initiatives, No Ref, No Game, One Step Ahead of mental health. We'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy yourselves. Cheerio for now.